Today I'm going to talk to you about how to try a tiling manager, window manager on top of a regular puppy window manager, which is a JWM. So I have a CE-4 F96-CE-4 ISO that I use as a daily basis on my regular PC, which is here. But right now I'm actually logged into a BSPWM, so we can go ahead and take a look at what tiling window manager does. So when you start on another program in tiling manager, what you'll do is you'll have there'll be no disk space that's wasted, so you can go ahead and try a rocks filer on top of this. So right now what it's gonna do is it's gonna show a rocks filer here, so we'll just go ahead and do that, and then we can quickly just close with the my key is F4 just to close, and then if you wanna change the attention to the other application that's open, for example, and you can either use the mouse where I have it set up, or you can just quickly just go from key super left arrow, super right arrow. So I find that BSPWM is very efficient actually, and you can always get to look at the desktop by Super D as I have it set up. So this is how you can, this is how the tiling window manager differs, and I believe that it also uses less RAM on initial boot, but I think that that's really not that relevant in a puppylinux, because in puppylinux, whether you are using the tiling window manager or not, everything gets loaded up in RAM except for save folders. So let me just go ahead and close this, and also we'll get back to the YouTube. So first, what I would recommend is you go ahead and save JWM folder, save folders. So, and we can rename it JWM, and so what I'll show you is that we can go ahead and go to the partition where you have the save folder that's automatically being saved in puppylinux. And what you can do is so right now it's I renamed it BSPWM, but you should have something starts with Fossapup64 save dash something. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and save that, or copy this folder to a safe partition, so as a backup. And I would recommend when you do that, after you move to another partition and you copy, then you rename it to, so you can go ahead and put in a dash JWM. So that's in case that if you want to ever want to revert back to JWM, you can simply copy that save folder to your regular save partition. What you can do at this time is that once you save copy the save folder to another partition with the JWM, what you can do is use the active save folder and rename it just like I have here, Fossapup64 save dash BSPWM. So when you go ahead and rename it, what any changes it makes, it will be saved in that save folder. So as long as you don't have any other save folder with the Fossapup64 save, it will just automatically use this save folder next time when you boot up, either in BSPWM or JWM. So but we'll be setting up with the BSPWM mainly. So we'll get that out of the way, and we'll go ahead and close everything here. So the first thing after you make a backup, a save folder, and also rename the present use a save folder with a BSPWM. Next thing you want to do is since you're just assuming you're just using the JWM, what we want to do is install two packages, BSPWM and Tint2. So I find that Tint2 works very well, and when I first tried this a couple of years ago, the polybar was not even available in Puppy Package Manager. So Tint2 has been always my test bar here, so that works very well. And then after whenever you want to switch back to JWM, for example from BSPWM, all you have to do is just on a terminal, you just go ahead and restart, start. So right now we're in BSPWM. So let's say later on you want to see how the JWM, which is the normal a window manager in puppylinux, so you can always revert back to with a terminal restart wm space JWM. So if you're in JWM, for example, and you want to go ahead and restart, then obviously BSPWM, and then when it reboots, it doesn't even reboot actually, it just gets you right back to whichever the window manager that you prefer. And this really puppylinux is amazing that you can actually do that. So there is no login manager, for example, because you always root. So in theory, you'll be in JWM, so you can go ahead and start PPM. So right now, the row feed that I use, you can see that it's not in a classic tiling. I made the row feed window a floating, so they can do that. So you can with the BSPWM. So we'll just go ahead and PPM. So this is Puppy Package Manager, and then you go ahead and start it. And then you can go ahead and update if you want, and then you just simply BSPWM, you just go ahead and click that, and this is already installed. And this actually also has a key binding daemon or file that you really need. It's xwin. So that automatically comes together, and I don't think that there is a separate sxhkd. Yeah, there's no, but it's already included. So the other package that you need is Tint2. So, and this is already installed. So other than that, that's all you need is two files, and then we'll talk about the configuration. So since the packages are installed, what we have to do is find a template of files that will be placed in an appropriate configuration. So we need to create three folders here: BSPWM, sxhkd, and Tint2. So we need to create the directories here, and also put in the templates on each appropriate configuration directory. So to find out where the files that we need is basically what you have to type in is find / -xdev, because they will find all the search all the files, except that we will not search in the save folders. So If you use Puppy like I do, you'll have several different save folders, and you don't want to search within those save folders. So you need dash x dev space dash iname and double quotes BSPWM-RC is the file that we need to find where it is. So we need, after we find that file, we need to put that file within the configuration directory that we created. So I shown the example of the name of the file we need. This is sxhkdrc file, for example. And thirdly, we need to also find this template, tint2rc template, and put it in the appropriate folder in the root directory. So I made it easy in that if you follow the directions, and all you need to do is just type in this one long line here in a terminal, and it will go through it will create the appropriate directories and installed correct single template files into 3 different directories, and it will also open up in Geany, which is actually what I have here. So you will have 3 more files after you go through this here, and and then we'll take a look at those files. So I know in each RC, for example, these 2, there are multiple examples. What you want is the one with the shortest line. So you want this line, you want this particular file, and the other files, although the name is same, it may be different. So you want this file, and you also want this file in sxhkdrc. And then tint2, you only have one choice, so this is it. So, but this, I simplified it for you just to with this one line, long line command. So what we'll do is we'll just grab this command here, long line, and we'll make a copy, and then we'll simply put it in the terminal, and then we'll make a copy here, and then enter. And then, well, just for illustrative purposes, what we expect if everything goes okay is to create 3 different folders here, and also bring up the those template files here in Geany. So we'll just go ahead and enter, and then you can see there are 3 different files that's gonna show up, and we may open up this further. And also we'll take a look at the folder within here is the BSPWM that's been created, and SXHKD is also created here, and tint2 has also been created. So everything went okay. So we'll just take a look at this the 3 template files here. So this is BSPWM-RC. This is the primary configuration. SXHKDRC has to do with mainly the keyboard key binding of the BSPWM, and tint2 has mainly to do with the replacement of JWM tray here with tint2. So we'll take a closer look at the BSPWM-RC. So this here is what you need to configure to start a file. So for example, we need to make sure that that key binding file gets started on or startup of the BSPWM. So you need to have SXHKD. And then second line here is a template to give you the number of virtual desktop that you want to use. So JWM, that my configuration, I tend to limit mine to a 6. So rather than having 10, so all you do, for example, is just go ahead and go back and then save, and then the border width has to do with the width of this border, and also, and then if you, the gap, window gap, has to do with the amount of space between two open tiling applications. So you can see that these are all configurable. So you can change to your liking, but this is a template to give you a good clue as to how to further modify it. So here is this gives you this is a very important section in that it gives you an idea of the name of the program and desktop. For example, here I'm only going to have 6 desktops, but this, if you have GIMP installed, what this will do is you'll put it in virtual desktop number 8, but since we're not going to have it 8, we can well, we're only going to have up to 6. So, and then if you have Chromium desktop, that Chromium browser, it'll open up in a desktop 2, for example. So this follow on means that whenever you load up in this case GIMP, it will go to the virtual desktop where you have 4, let's say 4. So here it'll go to the virtual desktop when you launch the GIMP. So it's important that you have because if you're in, let's say virtual screen number 1 and you're starting you want to start a GIMP, if you don't have follow on, you may still remain on terminal in 1 rather than switching to GIMP on 4. So follow on floating means that on a GIMP, when it opens in 4, will not be in a classic tiling mode that you expect in a BSPWM, but it'll just be a single floating window. So, and this is how you can further configure appearance of BSPWM-RC. So let's just examine the SXHKD-RC. Now this is, so as a default, when you want to, for example, launch URXVT, a terminal, the keyboard is super return, super key, window key, and return. But for example, I always prefer super and T, so for terminal. So then what you end up doing is just replacing it with T and then save. So that's how you configure the various key binding in tiling window manager, like in BSPWM. I find it, for me, keyboard driven tiling manager is very efficient, and that very quickly I can go to different workspace, and also to move them from one to the other, and have a so there is a tremendous benefit in configuring the keyboard binding to your preference, so you can do all these things without use of the mouse, which tend to be very, very slow. So, and then Tint 2 here will we'll have to make sure that Tint 2 gets started here by adding BSPWM Tint 2 RC and open it in the background, for example. When you do that, when the BSPWM BSWM starts, it's going to also look for tint2 tray, so it gives you a tray. So the configuration itself is in tint2RC here. So that's basically a brief look at the template and how do you configure. So next what we'll do is I'll load up my own configuration and see the results of configuration files. So here my own configuration files I put up here. So for example, when you first start BSPWM, you have to start tint2, so this is why I get this tint2 bar up here. And also for example, net monitor WCE gives you this this here, and I'm on Ethernet. And SXHKD again is a keyboard, so all your keyboards work. And I also like to use Redshift, especially for night computer work, and so it's right here. And then it also I need a volume control, and for Fossapup for my ISO that I need to put in this word here. So, and again, this gives me six different virtual workspaces. But I got it set up so only if a workspace contains an application that it shows. So, for example, if I open up a browser, it's going to go into one, so then one will show up. So, but similarly, if I open up a 3 rocks, then it goes to second workspace. So that's what. So and then it similarly border width. So this red color width is 2 pixels. Window gap, for example, if I open up a terminal here, between this red and this line there's only 5 pixels, and so you can adjust all that. So you can just go ahead and come out of it. So and then the different color settings and so on. So these all has to do with the different programs. So if I open up a G calculator, it's going to open up in Windows 6, and as soon as it opens up, I'm going to be I'll go to Windows 6, and then it's going to be in a floating mode, not in a tile mode. Otherwise, tile mode, regular default tile mode, will just take up the whole screen. So let me just start the G calculator, and so G calculator. Okay, calculator. So then you notice that it goes to 6 and it opens up as a floating and rather than the tiling mode. So if I open up a terminal, it'll just pick up the whole space rather than tile with a calculator. So, and let me just go back. So that's the BSPWM RC file. So it modifies the behavior of each program if you want a different than default setting. So SXHKD RC again is a keyboard binding. So I have it set up where, for example, ALT up arrow will make the volume louder, and down similarly makes a volume lower. So if I just click on a print screen, it's gonna give it a certain arrow. It changes, and it takes a screenshot of whatever the arrow that I just created, and we'll just go to the just to take a look at the arrow. It should be screenshots, and we'll just click it, and this is what I just took a screenshot of. So we'll just come out of that, and we'll also delete the screenshot. So this is how you modify a keyboard binding. So I have it set up so even I have a small script where it closes all the running files in one sweep, and that's bound to super, which is window key, and shift and X will just close all the programs that's open. So those are basic. I just went over very briefly how I got mine set up so I can easily go back and forth to JWM, BSP, RC tiling manager, and I hope this has been helpful, and at least this will get you started. So that's it for today.